Hey everyone, today I'm going to be taking a look at the Commander NV100 digital night vision device from oneleaf.ai. This is a clip-on night vision device, so it's meant to attach to a rifle scope and give you night vision capability while looking through that scope. And it could also be used as a monocular. This is a little bit different for me. I don't normally do gear reviews. It's not really something that I'm very interested in. But I think this product will be relevant to a lot of the viewers and subscribers. I wanted to also disclose how I came into this item. I did not buy it. OneLeaf sent it to me, and they actually did so at the request of a subscriber. So Vinpal Guitar is one of the viewers, subscribers to the channel. Learned about this device through his research into night vision online, and he just didn't see a lot of info about it. So he wanted, a good review on it. And I guess he's such a fan of the channel that he thought I would give a good review on it. So he contacted OneLeaf and asked if they would send it to me, and they actually did. So thank you to Vinpal Guitars. Thank you to OneLeaf. That being said, I am going to give a very objective and honest review of this item. I'm not selling this. I'm not putting an affiliate link in the description. I'm not getting any money from this in any way. So it's very important that I provide an objective review of this so that you can make the decision whether this is something that you are or aren't interested in. Wanted to, before we even get into it, mention the price because that is important. So I was only able to, in a brief search, find this product on eBay. It is direct from OneLeaf. They distribute on eBay. I found that out from their website. But I wasn't able to find it sold anywhere else, and there it was listed for $339.99. I saw this item listed on Amazon, but I did not actually see it for sale on Amazon. It was unavailable there. So $339.99 is the price that I'm going with.
Hey, so I don't know how I missed this the first time around, but you can buy the device straight from OneLeaf on their website, and it is about $30 cheaper. Plus, right now you get 5% off, and it looks like free shipping. So it'll be, well under $300 to get this device.
It's funny, that's a price that's both high and low at the same time. It's expensive and cheap. It's cheap in the sense that, in the world of night vision, prices are usually measured in the thousands, not in the hundreds. So $340 for a good device is a great price. It's expensive, though, in the sense that, looking at this just at the packaging, obviously looking at the brand name, this is not like a known product. This is a totally, off-brand Amazon type, AliExpress type brand. Very unknown at this point. Now that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's unknown and there's a lot of risk with, buying this product. Is it going to hold up? Is the manufacturer going to stand behind it? In that sense, it is a lot of money. It's not a keychain or a flashlight at the dollar store where if it doesn't work, you just move on. Like $340 is a lot of money to spend on something like that. So it is important to mention that, and it is important to me to make an objective analysis of this product with that in mind. I wanted to start the review with a full unboxing. So as you can see, it's still shrink wrapped in plastic. I haven't seen what's inside yet. So we're both going into this together. As you can see, very plain packaging. There's really not much to see here. Kind of typical of consumer electronics sold through AliExpress or some of these lesser known Amazon brands. So wanted to give you a peek at these specs on the side. You could pause the video to read that. And then you can see the other side there. Wanted to bring your attention to, on that previous side there, this magnification field. So from my research on the website, it comes in a 12 millimeter and 16 millimeter lens size, which is obviously also shown here. and I suppose what that means to us is that the 12 millimeter is better for a 1:6 scope, so to sit behind a 1:6 scope, and the 16 millimeter is better for a 4-24. I do hope that this is a 12 millimeter because I don't have a high magnification scope. And I wonder if the 16 millimeter would be less than optimal at a smaller magnification. But did want to make you aware of that. That there are two versions. Now the problem is that there's nothing on here that tells me if it's a 12 or a 16. I'm just going to hope that it is a 12, or that if it is a 16, then it doesn't make much difference. So we have the manual here for the product. Not going to get into, reading the manual right now, but just glancing it over, it seems pretty well written and useful. Sometimes you'll buy, this sort of electronic, like cameras, cheap cameras or something off Amazon, and the manual will be very poorly translated. So that's good because, I don't know how to use this product and there's not much about it online. Looks like we get a lens cleaning cloth. And there's the device in the box. Feels pretty solid. First impressions, seems like a nice hard plastic. Seems solid for what it is, just by feeling it. How do I take this off? So I know that this is a adapter to attach to your scope, and there's several in here, which I'll show you in a minute. Comes off easy enough. So looks like we have some more adapters. So this is a 48 millimeter adapter, and we also get a 42. You have this, I guess this is a replacement rubber thingy to go on the side of the scope that you look through, the objective lens, right? I don't know too much about optics. And is this a bag? Yep, a nice little carrying case, that's nice. And then we have the tape, which I heard about. So obviously you only get 3 adapters, and there's all sorts of scopes out there. So if those adapters are too big for your scope, they want you to take the tape and wrap it around your scope to give some more meat to the scope, and then you'll use the provided adapters. Not really a great option. You shouldn't have to tape up your scope. I think I would prefer that they just give you more scope adapter options, or at least when you're ordering the product, let you pick which adapter you need. So then we have, I wonder if this must be a charging cable, USB charging cable, some Allen wrenches and screws. I wonder if that's to adjust the built-in laser, which I'll get to all the features in this device after I take a glance at the manual to find out what they are. And then this is, I don't know, a battery cover, maybe? I don't know. I don't know what this thing is. And that seems to be it. So I assume this is where you plug in to charge. Oh, that's cool. So they give you a little SD card, 32 gig SD card. That's awesome. So you have to remember that, or keep in mind, if you didn't know, that a digital night vision device is essentially like a digital camera with an IR filter on it. These kinds of devices often come with the ability to record, take photos, basically anything a digital camera would do. So after poking around in the manual, I wanted to go over what the different pieces on this device are. Starting front to back, we do have a infrared light that you can turn clockwise, counterclockwise, and that kind of adjusts like the spread of the beam. You have the battery pack here. It is a rechargeable battery, which is cool, and it's pink and it's branded OneLeaf, so that's interesting. This is the part that you would attach to your scope using these various adapters. Let's try to see if I remember how to put them on. Right, I think I got it. And to take it off, you just twist and pull. And this is the tab to add and remove the adapters. There appears to be a laser on here. Oh, that's just a screw. The laser is up here. Not sure if it's infrared or visible. Nothing in the manual that I saw about that. Moving backwards, we have the focus adjustment in here. We already saw it before, but we have our SD card, we have the charging port, and we have a headphone jack. Moving backwards, we have a diopter focus. Don't know what that means, honestly, but another focus knob to mess with. We have the eyepiece, and we have our controls here. So haven't learned the controls yet, but power, obviously you have your IR menu button. I think OK is to like start photo or video, but I'll figure those out as I start using this device. So now that I've fumbled around with this in my sweaty hands for long enough, I'm gonna go outside. It's nighttime, and I'm gonna go look through it and see how it looks. So looking through the device here, first impressions are the image is pretty nice. It's not super clear, but I could definitely tell what I'm looking at. It is definitely a little better than expected. Also, I am on the lowest IR setting, so cranking that up, even just 2 is way better, but let's crank it all the way up to 6. That looks way better. Now I'm playing with the focus knob to try to get the best image I can. I think right there is the best I'm gonna get on that metal can there. Take a peek at the tree line. Image looks pretty good to me. Again, trying to focus in, get the best crisp image I can. So tonight is a fairly cloudy night. I don't see a moon, but still looks pretty good, at least with the IR light. Let me try walking with this thing. Not too bad. I do notice I have to keep playing with the focus knob as I look at different points in the device if I want to get a real crisp image, or whatever, as crisp an image as I'm going to get. But once I do get it focused in, I am pretty impressed with the image. And really up close with how bright this IR light is, I could definitely see really well. Let's try to focus in on an object and then contract the IR beam. So now we're focused on that log pile. Just playing with the focus help us out. It's kind of just creating a lot of glare. So yeah, I see the wood pile a little better. And let's look out far across my field. There we have the apple trees. Again, trying to focus in. I think right there is the best I'm gonna get. My little apple saplings. Walk a little bit more. See if I could see all the way across the field. Maybe zoom in. I'm trying to focus in, but it's not really getting any better. One more zoom. Focus. I think that's the best I'm gonna get. Can definitely tell what I'm looking at. Here I'm right up against the tree line. Seeing what I could see. Up close, the image is definitely, to me at least, impressive for what this device is. See, this is a great device for checking on your chickens at night. And this device does have a zoom functionality, so if you want to zoom in on a chicken, you could do that. Let's try to focus in. Yeah, that's a pretty crisp image of that chicken. So indoors, this works surprisingly well. All the lights are off in my house. There might be some ambient, like the router light on, but I have all the lights off that I'm aware of, and it looks pretty good. As you can see, the cat looks great. I have the NV100 mounted on my test gun. We're using a Henry H001, which is a 22 LR lever action rifle, and we have on top of it a Barska 3-9 rimfire scope, and the device is attached with the 42mm mount. With this mount, I did not need any of the tape, which is good. It's just, as you can see, tightened down right here all the way down is just enough to hold on to the scope. So that was nice. So a little bit of information that might be helpful to you is that the included mounts with the NV100, you'll be able to mount them to a Barska 3.9 without any tape. So maybe that's helpful since this is a pretty common rimfire scope. Last thing I wanted to mention before I do some night shooting, I learned some things about this device that I didn't know during the unboxing while I was outside playing with it. First off, this cap that I didn't know what it did or what it was for, it is to cover up the IR light when not in use. And I would have known that if I had read what was written on the cap the first time, but that's good to know. I also learned that the IR light is used not by turning left and right, but in and out. That constricts or expands the beam. And then I learned those Allen keys that I wasn't sure about. I learned the smaller one is for the laser, and the larger one is for these scope mount screws or sight mount screws, whatever you want to call them. And I also learned that the laser on this device is visible rather than infrared. So enough of that. I'm going to go outside, do some night shooting, and see how this device performs. So I got my steel plate downrange. I adjusted the zoom. This is the best I can get. And as you can see, the crosshair is pretty blurry, but you can tell where it is. Let me try maybe adjusting it a little more. Now. So looks like that's the best I'm going to get. And I am at about 40 yards. I'm going to try to get a shot off. Really hard to see that crosshair. I don't think I've gotten the plate yet. Let me try to zoom out. So I'm zoomed out. It seems like the crosshair is still kind of blurry, but not as bad. And I'm zoomed out on my scope, to be clear. Let's try again. Can't tell if I'm hitting. I'm gonna try to zoom in on the NV100. Oh. Let's try this. Let me zoom out on my scope. And just use the zoom on the device. Really messing with the focus here. It's like the crosshair is blurry or the target is blurry. You can't get them both clear. Alright, let me try. Oh, fuck. Kinda can't hear whether I'm hitting the plate. And I want to add, the moon is pretty bright tonight. I think that was a hit. That sounded like a light round. I think I might be empty. Yep. Let's see if I could focus in. It's like getting worse the more I mess with it. Alright, it's blurry, but I can see the target, so let me try to take a shot. It would help if I cock the hammer. Try to zoom in. The clearer the zoom on the reticle, the blurrier the target, and vice versa. Let's try though. I'm gonna try to zoom on the device. Oh, that's weird. The reticle's like off to the side. Why is my reticle off to the side now? I don't know what the hell is going on. Does it work though? I think that might have been my first hit so far. Might be empty. Might be empty. Yep. Okay, so it's daytime now. I am set a little further back. I'm looking out my bedroom window and playing around with the settings. I was able to adjust the display so that the crosshair is back in the center of my display. So that's good. I don't know what happened that night when I was shooting, but at least I was able to fix it. I also, since that footage that you just watched, I also was able to take this device off and shoot during the daytime just to make sure my gun and my scope was on, because as you saw, I really was not hitting my target hardly at all during that. So and shooting without the NV100, I was able to hit pretty consistently on that plate. So going to just do a little bit more shooting right now with the NV100 on daytime mode to see if I could at least narrow down the issue to nighttime mode. Just play with the focus a little more. Alright. I don't have a good rest here, but I'll try my best. Oh, that was a hit. I whiffed that. All right. I think that is safe enough to say that my issue was in night mode and not through this device in general. So I wanted to end this review by sharing my final thoughts about the Commander NV100 device. There were things that it did do surprisingly well, in my opinion, but the fact of the matter is that most people are buying this device to shoot at targets at night with, either stationary targets or varmints or whatever it is that they're hunting. That's really what this device is designed for, and that's where I think it performed the weakest. As you saw from that footage, I did have some difficulty. I would say I had two main issues with this device. The first thing was the focus. I found it very difficult, pretty much impossible, to get a good picture of both my crosshair and the target. I was fumbling around with that a lot, and this was a stationary steel plate at 40 yards. How would that work if it was a moving coyote, a moving hog? You're going to try to track that thing and play with the focus, and I just find it hard to believe that that would be a good image for getting a good shot off. My secondary criticism is the lack of accuracy, at least in night mode, and I blame this less on the device itself, because I think, other than the focus, which impacts accuracy, it's hard to accurately shoot at something you can't see clearly. I think the second part that impacted my accuracy was that this optic doesn't, meaning my scope, doesn't have adjustable parallax. And in OneLeaf's defense, they do say that this NV100 is designed to be used with a device that has adjustable parallax. So I think part of my accuracy issues were due to that. It wasn't way off. I saw it hitting the dirt a few times, and this was a small target. It was about a 5-inch target. I think for like a coyote or a hog at sort of medium range, it would be serviceable, although not ideal. But I mean, the accuracy was definitely below my expectations, and that was confined to night mode. Like I said, shooting without the NV100, shooting the NV100 in day mode, accuracy was fine. It was confined to the night shooting feature. So what do I think this device would be good for? I did say earlier that it would probably be hard to hunt with it, with the blurriness of the image on a moving target, but I do think it would be serviceable for hogs or coyotes at like a close to medium range, even with my setup. I imagine if you had an optic that was better and with parallax adjustment, it would probably work even better. But I think that even with my setup, it would do an okay job at coyote and hog hunting, at least if the range is fairly short. I think it's also good for observing specific points at night. I don't think it's good for like scanning a field or a tree line or anything like that, because when you move this device, the image does definitely get a little blurry. But I think if you're watching a particular position, it would do an okay job observing it at night. And I was surprised to learn that this would be a pretty good option for filming shooting footage. I have no complaints about the daytime camera. I think if you need to shoot video footage of you shooting a gun, this is a pretty good option for that. So if you got this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope this gave you a pretty good picture of this device. I hope it informs your decision on whether to buy or not to buy it if you were interested in it. If you do own this device, please let me know what you think about it in the comments. I might do a follow-up on it eventually if I learn something new about it or figure out how to shoot it better at night. I'll definitely make a follow-up video and share that with you. But if you currently own this and you like it or you don't like it or you have any tips and tricks about it, please share it in the comments so that myself and other people who might be interested might know about, might learn something about it. Thanks again and have a good one.